Be fierce like a lion, but have the heart of a lamb. Be fierce like a lion, but have the heart of a lamb. What that means is that as a man, you have to have some type of authority in your life. When I mean authority to fight off evil, authority to rebuke any wicked spirits that come in your way, the authority to get rid of anything that doesn't have any value in your life, right? Because that's what a lion does. The moment he sees something that's a threat to him, he will get rid of it, right? But when you have a heart of a lamb, you have the ability to forgive others. You have the ability to be kind to others. You have the ability to be compassionate and to treat people the way they deserve to be treated. As a man, you must master these two things, right? Of being fierce, but also being respectful and kind, right? It's okay to have that rough edge about yourself, right? To have some type of dominance within yourself, to have some type of assertiveness, because as a man, you need that. But at the same time, if you're a man and you're looking for some type of relationship where a woman comes your way, you must have the ability to switch it, right? Switch that into somebody who is emotionally intelligent, right? Switch it into somebody who is more connected or more in tune with their emotions, right? You need to learn how to become more emotionally intelligent. You need to learn how to treat people the way they deserve to be treated, right? You need to learn how to control your emotions, not be so angry all the time, and be calm and collected within yourself. Which means if somebody disrespects you, how are you gonna act? How are you gonna retaliate? Are you gonna retaliate at all? Right? Are you gonna start yelling back? Start arguing back? Or are you going to realize that doing that is wasting time? Doing that doesn't move you forward. Doing that doesn't move you forward to God, right? All that does is lower your energy and lowers your frequency. And that's what it means to be fierce like a lion and have the heart of a lamb. You must have two sides of yourself. You must also be aggressive in certain situations, but also be calm. Have that calm aggression within your life. Pick and choose what things you should be aggressive towards. What I mean by that is, you should be aggressive pursuing your goals, but you shouldn't be aggressive trying to argue with somebody, trying to get your point across to somebody. Because when you do that aggressively, all that is doing is just adding more fuel to the fire. Nothing good comes out of that, right? But if you're calm and collected and try to speak to somebody the way they deserve to be spoken to, even though they may not see your perspective, they may not see your point of view. When you speak to them in a calm, collected manner, right? That's when things get better between the both of y'all. Because you're able to control your emotions. And that goes for relationships too, whether you're with your friends or you have a relationship with your girl, right? Even a simple relationship with your mother. If anybody tries to yell at you or scream at you or do anything of that matter, the moment you start yelling back means that they have control over you. The moment you start retaliating back, the moment you start arguing back, right? That's when you're letting words affect you, right? That's when you're letting words become weapons and allowing them to enter into your mind and disrupt your thinking. But when you're calm and collected within yourself, when you have self-discipline within your mind, when your mind is disciplined, right? You tend to notice, you tend to realize that words don't really hold any value at all unless you let them, right? And you must imagine your mind as some sort of protective barrier protecting it, some type of wall, right? Understand that not every word that is said towards you needs to affect you in a negative manner, right? When all you have to do is just calm yourself down and analyze the situation. And us men, we need to realize that the more angry we get, the more frustrated we get sometimes, the more problems that will arise, right? You get into an argument with somebody, you get into an altercation with somebody, right? Y'all going back and forth, and nobody's taking accountability for their actions. Y'all are most likely going to get in a fight. And if y'all most likely going to get into a fight, then one of y'all or both of y'all can go to jail. It's just as simple as it is. That's why wrath is a sin, because the more that we indulge in it, the more problems that can occur. You can't fight fire with fire, because it's just going to add more fire, right? And when it adds more fire, everything else burns around it, right? So not only are you getting in a fight with this person, right? If somebody tries to break that fight up, they might end up getting hit as well. That's how it is. That's how wrath works, right? As a man, you need to learn how to be stoic. You need to learn how to practice the art of stoicism, right? When you practice the art of stoicism, you elevate into a person that people can't really comprehend. You elevate into a person that people can't really bother, right? When they say certain things to make you angry and they see that you're not affected, it affects them, right? Y'all ever watch that movie of Kung Fu Panda where Po was fighting Tai Lung, and every time Tai Lung is punching his stomach, it repels back? That's how it is, right? When somebody is trying to curse at you or call you certain names, and you're just there unbothered, not scared, not timid, you're just looking them straight in their face, unbothered, right? It affects them, right? Because they know that your mental discipline is not of this world. Your mental discipline is not natural. It's not natural, but it's not normal, right? And people nowadays, they don't like normal, right? The moment you start elevating yourself, the moment you start getting closer to God, you stray away from the term normal, right? Because the devil normalizes a lot of things, right? As we know, he normalizes pornography, right? Watching things that you shouldn't be watching. The devil likes to normalize drinking, going to parties and clubs, lusting, fornicating, all that. That's what normal is nowadays. The more that you get closer to God, the more you start to realize that you don't have to be normal. And in order for you to be successful in life, you can't be normal, right? You can't be of the ordinary. You can't follow what other people are doing just because you feel like you're not fitting in. It's okay to not fit in. It's okay to be different, right? And when you're fierce like a lion and have the heart of a lamb, you stray away from normal, right? Because there's two types of men, right? There's one who is overly aggressive, controlled by anger, and the other one is timid, who puts other needs before him. And so as a man, you need to learn how to jump back and forth, combine those two aspects. You need to learn how to respect yourself, but also respect others, right? You need to learn how to become more aggressive towards your goals, but also be calm and collected in certain situations. You need to learn how to control your emotions, right? You need to learn how to balance yourself, like yin and yang. When you control your emotions, when you control your thoughts, that's when you will start to control your life as a man. Nobody has access to your life. Nobody really has access to control your life but God, right? And when you let God flow through you, that's when you will start to elevate. I'm gone.